Let's talk about these NBA round two, game three losers, and let's get to it. We're going to start off with the Indiana Pacers, and then we're going to go to the Oklahoma City Thunders. Let's start. First game, Indiana's up 2-0. What happened to Tyrese Halliburton? You know, you've been hearing overrated, and he's been balling. Maybe on the road, I don't know if the pressure got to him. They didn't look good last night. In Cleveland for the third straight game, had a gigantic lead, except this time they held on. Donovan Mitchell been balling. Donovan Mitchell was out there looking like he had drunk some of that '06 D Wade juice, and he was on a mission. He put the team on his back. They were very healthy, and they thoroughly waxed Indiana. And this is a situation that if they win the next game, the series is back, so it could go the full distance. You know, the Pacers are a strong offensive team, but their defense lacks, and Cleveland just tearing their butt up. And see, sometimes I don't know what's going on. We're gonna see how these series go. The road teams have had better success, and some of these teams just don't understand. You gotta know how to stomp a team out when you got them like that. Because the Pacers have them left or right. Been winning a couple, close games, finishing up. So, but I think Cleveland's got fight in them. There's a reason why they had the best record in the East, and they made a statement. But Donovan Mitchell been balling. I mean, he putting up some numbers. He on a mission, And if they can play halfway decent, this series is far from over. The Pacers, others didn't really step up, and Tyrese had a dud of a game. He stunk it up. You want to be considered one of the best, and I keep getting asked when I do the live streams in different places, is he the best point guard going after Brunson, or can he facilitate? And I say, well, he can play, but he does have a level of inconsistency, and this came on sadly in the worst possible situation, because now they got the pressure game for it. So this was a huge win for Cleveland, saved their season. But Cleveland showed that for the most part, they've been the better team, just didn't finish out. But they didn't make no statements about this last night. They did the thing. Then we go out west. And if OKC, if Dort, JJ, if they just have half a decent fourth quarter, they win this game. SGA looked very average, but so did Jokic. And see, the MVPs, Denver came up big with Jamal Murray. Even Porter scored 10. That was the difference, really. And they went to overtime and finished them up. But I'm here to tell you, it's winnable for OKC. They could easily be up 3-0 in this series. Easily. But again, you got to know how to finish up, and you got to play with consistency. And then if Denver's front scores like they're supposed to, they can win this series. They've got the size, and they definitely got an overall, ability to maintain. Of course, OKC's going to beat them with the bench, but it's the starters for Denver. If they hold their own as a starting five, they're tough, because Russell's going to come off the bench, and they basically 6.5 man rotation. But OKC made a lot of mental mistakes. They're looking in part like they're a little bit overwhelmed in spots. It's got the makings of a long series, but Denver was doing just enough to finish. And this is the reason why they went with getting rid of Mike Malone, finishing up games, because this is the kind of games Denver was losing. Like I said already about the Nuggets, and I've said it in previous videos, had they won those chippy games, those 50-50 games, they would have been the second seed in the West, and Mike Malone still might be there. But they lost a lot of games that they shouldn't have, and they were sometimes just getting outplayed and underperforming at the end. They made no mistake about it, so they were up 2-1. But what I'm watching about these games is that these series aren't that distinctive enough where I can say one team is clearly dominant. There's things that the team has just done, either i.e. let their guard down, not finishing up strongly, and so it's called capitalizing. And if you're not finishing four quarters, that's what's going to happen. And case in point in this game, it's just that OKC didn't finish up. Give Denver their respect, and they hit some big shots that came up. But it's just that OKC didn't finish and get enough contribution, because this game was there for the taking. And Denver is vulnerable, so it's going to be real interesting how these series go forward. These series have been pretty competitive in terms of like teams going back and forth, but it's about who can finish to hit the finish line. That's the key. So that's the thing I've noticed in all of the series so far. It's about who can finish in the fourth quarter, that last 5 minutes. So we're going to see what happens from here on out. Anyway, let me know what you think about these last two games with both the Pacers and the Thunder losing. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Hit the membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.